Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to use Tailwind CSS 4 in Shopify theme development. Tailwind CSS version 4 has just been released and it's still early days. While it brings some great improvements, I'm hoping we will soon see even better ways to implement it with Laravel Mix. Before we dive in, I want to mention that I have already covered how to set up Shopify theme development environment in previous videos. If you haven't watched those videos yet, I will put the links in the description so you can check them out first. Now, let's get started. The first step that we need to implement is we need to get the starter files. You can download these files from my GitHub repo. I will put the link in the description. I have already downloaded these files and set up a theme folder. You can see I'm currently in Shopify theme T4 folder and I have a configuration file also. Now let's open this in code editor. You can see in the configuration folder, I have added Shopify theme kit app password and store address. Okay, we need to get the theme ID. So let's get that first. So open your theme folder, select all the folders except config.yml file, right click and create a zip file. Okay, name it, let's say Shopify theme with T4. Now let's open our development environment. You can see currently I am in my one of the development store. Okay, you can upload the theme file from here. Just click on this add theme and select upload zip file option. Here you can select the zip folder that we have created. Okay, select this, click open and click on this upload file button. So this will upload your theme folder to your development store. Okay, now we need to publish this theme. Just hit publish. If you click on this customize, you will see we will have 404 error here. If you open the front end, you will see we have 404 not found page here. So let's fix that first. Okay, before fixing the error, we need to get the theme ID first. So you can get this from here or go back and click on this three dot and hit edit code. So you will get the theme ID from the URL. So copy the theme ID and paste in this config.yml file. I'm going to put this in quotation mark. Let's save this. Now we can fix this 404 not found error. For that, you need to open index.json file, and in this file we need to delete this image banner and rich text. We need to remove this text from order array. Okay, let's save this. So to save this, we need to run theme watch allow live command. So let me open this in my another terminal. It would be git bash and run that command here. Let's say theme watch allow live. Okay, so hit enter. So this will start tracking the changes that we do in our theme files. Okay, if you hit save here, you can see, so this theme watch allow live command is watching the changes. Okay, so now if you refresh the page, you will see the 404 error will be gone. And if you open the customizer, you can see we have now home page here. Now you can add sections. And now we are going to set up Laravel Mix, Alpine.js and Tailwind CSS. Okay, so first of all, let's install Laravel Mix. So let's run this command npm init y. This will initialize the project. Okay, the next command that we need to run is this npm install Laravel mix. Copy this and paste in your terminal. So Laravel mix is successfully installed. Now we need to create this webpack.mix.js file. Okay, let me go to the editor and create that file here. Let me delete this zip file. We don't need that anymore. So the next step is we need to install alpine.js. Okay, let's copy this command and run in your terminal. Okay, and next thing we are going to install Tailwind CSS. Okay, let's select version 4. Okay, you can work with the version 3.4.17. Okay, go to documentation. You can see we have various ways to use Tailwind CSS in our project. You can see we have Tailwind CLI. We can use that also. If you don't want to use this, you can use this CDN. So if you search Tailwind CSS with Laravel mix, you can land on this URL. Just click on this install Tailwind CSS with Laravel link, and here you can find documentation how to use Laravel mix. So this documentation is for Laravel, but we can use this in Shopify theme development also. So here, click on this link using Laravel mix. You can see we have the installation instructions here. Okay, let's copy this command and run in the terminal. Okay, so Tailwind CSS is installed successfully. Now, if you open your code editor and check package.json file, you can see we have Tailwind CSS version 4 is installed, and we have some other dependencies also. Before adding the code into this webpack.mix.js file, we need to create some folders. So let's do that. First of all, we are going to create source folder. And here in this source folder, we are going to create two folders, one for CSS and another for JS. In the CSS folder, create a new file, let's say app.css, and in the JS folder, create a new file app.js file. Go to Alpine.js documentation and copy this piece of code, and you can paste that here. To avoid any compilation error, I'm going to make slight changes in this line of code. I'm going to create a constant and use require. Okay, so next thing that we need to do is open your app.css file and copy this piece of code. Copy @import Tailwind CSS and paste that here. Okay, in the previous version of Tailwind CSS, if we go here, you can see we used to add these three directives, but now we need just one, which is this Tailwind CSS. And in Tailwind CSS version 4, we do not need to create this tailwind.config.js file. Basically, in this file, we tell Tailwind CSS where to look for utility classes. But now, in version 4, we do not need that. Now let's make changes in our webpack.mix.js file. Go to the Laravel mix file and copy this piece of code and paste in the webpack.mix.js file. So now we have a folder structure here. So we can use this piece of code. You can find this code here also. But here we need to change the path. So I exactly did that here. Okay, so we are requiring this Tailwind CSS, post CSS dependencies. we are taking this app.js and app.css as inputs, and outputs is created in the assets folder, which is here. Okay, now let's save this. Now let's run npx mixwatch command that will compile the CSS and JavaScript. Okay, you can see it started to compile the CSS. Okay, so it is successfully compiled, but there is one little bug. When we run npx mixwatch, the compilation is in the loop. It constantly compiling the CSS. So what I did is I just disabled the notification of Laravel mix. Otherwise, it keeps displaying the notification. So now if you open our theme watch allow live command, you can see it is started to watch app.js and app.css. Now let's check if everything is working fine. Let's open layout folder and open theme.liquid file. Here we can test by adding some CSS classes. Let's create a div with the class of, let's say, maxw7xl and mxauto, and add some padding, let's say p10, and add background color, let's say bg green 300. So let's save this and check on the front end if it is working. Okay, so let's refresh the page. You can see we have a div with the background color. Now let's test some more classes here. Let's create a div with the class of, let's say, grid, and grid calls, let's say 3, and with the gap of, let's say 4. And in this div we are going to create 3 div, and let's add some classes here. Let's say bg teal 600 with the padding of 10, and we can change the frequency of color, let's say teal 200, and here we can add 400. Okay, so let's save this and check on the front end. Okay, you can see we have a grid here. Now let's check the CSS in one of the section. So let's open this header.liquid file. We can check if Tailwind CSS can read utility classes from here. Okay, let's change the heading size to, let's say, 5xl, and change the color to text red, let's say 600. Now let's save this and check on the front end. You can see the classes are working. So now you can use Tailwind CSS 4 to create your Shopify theme. Maybe in future we will see the better way to implement this with Laravel Mix, so we don't have a loop when we compile our CSS and JavaScript. If someone has better solution, please ping me in the comment. I will definitely like to use that in my future projects. So you now have Tailwind CSS 4, Laravel Mix, and Alpine.js setup in your Shopify theme. Since Tailwind 4 is still fresh, I expect we will see improved ways to integrate it with Laravel Mix soon. So if you are new to Shopify theme development and haven't set up your environment yet, check out my previous videos. And if you found this tutorial helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more Shopify development tips. So let me know in the comment what you think about Tailwind CSS 4 and how you are planning to use it. See you in the next video.